Vietnam. Trapped fresh out of high school. In the trenches, literally, guerrilla warfare. 18, 19-year-olds. Now the average 18, 19-year-old got the beard, hair. Come on, man. TikTok, some new weird dance. You know?
Going back to what, because I was listening to y'all while I left, but the brother had mentioned that, they were taking the men out, serving the men out of the house. But that happened back during the 70s. But at the same time, the word was becoming truth, And so it's a balance, like you've been saying, it's a balance to everything. And so it leads us to this time now that the mighty men, the Most High has broken down, to the point that, and He's gonna break them down even further. When the destruction comes.
And then that's the economic warfare. This man attacked our testosterone. It's studies showing that our grandfather's testicles were so many times bigger than ours, which is where you store testosterone. But like Jake is weaker now. Like even the street dudes, they look a little more feeble now. They're not like the '90s street dudes look.
Like Stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't need a gym back in the day. They did. They were just real. Hey, they might have had a bench press in the front yard, slap boxing and shit.
Right. When they stop and walk post.
Yeah. Like the '90s street dudes, they were the last tough guys. 2010 on back, how he just stretching that far. But like these niggas now, that is 22, it's like, bro, they look more feeble. They just smoke synthetic weed, and everybody knows that synthetic weed. Everybody knows that synthetic weed is laced with chemicals that lower the testosterone. It's a warfare attack. They want everybody sterile, man. They don't want the Israelites reproducing. They can't get on hard. Trying to figure out why you're 22 with an erectile dysfunction. You get attacked on every side.
That's part of the crafty counsel.
Yeah. Jake don't know how to handle his emotions. That's a chemical attack on you. The food you love probably is lowering your testosterone. It's probably raising your estrogen. Alright? Oh, and it's probably making you want to murder somebody. Like, like the music you listen to is putting you on a frequency. You just daydreaming about murdering somebody, man. Brother, whoever got the scripture for it.
It's Proverbs 13 and 22. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
So even Jake can make money. They make money on some me shit. Like, so Jake is out here getting money. Like, they could be scamming. You can't buy nothing because everything you buy is through a credit card. So when Jake out here making money, and they thinking about their grandkids. Somebody once said you become a man when you start making moves outside of you. When you start making moves for people outside of yourself. They say this when so Jake never become a man.
I'm watching the series on Netflix. It's the Medici family.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much their banking family in Florence, Italy. They pretty much back the Pope. And it's pretty much where you get the modern elite banking style from. Those kind of niggas, but you can learn from anybody that's running the enterprise. These niggas wicked.
Sure.
You still gotta have a mind to run that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Even if you want some shiesty shit. But he said, he was like, he told his son, because his son wanted to be an artist. He was like, look, he said, weak people live for themselves. Strong people live for others, man. Because he was trying to set up a legacy, a family banking cartel. So he was like, look, weak people live for themselves. Strong people live for others, man. So going back to what we were saying, like, you look at the generation now, nobody playing for this shit. Like, you go a few decades ago, pretty much, everybody was just fucking.
It was just fucking.
Ain't nobody playing for this shit.
Right after America got freaky, the 1960s.
Yeah.
1970s,
Yeah.
when it was just snort coke, smoke weed,
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye, Foxy Brown,
Peace, love, soul.
peace, love. Everybody got in their free spirit energy.
Yeah.
And then we came.
Yeah.
So it wasn't strategized. It wasn't like, okay, my grandkids should be at this point, at this rate. You know?
If you look at today's time, everybody's doing the same thing. Men are doing exactly what women do, and women are doing exactly what men do. Men are going out there getting their teeth done, women going out there getting their teeth done. Men going out there getting their body done, women going out there getting their body done. Like, everybody's following the same roles anymore. So now there's no longer this difference between male and female masculinity and femininity. And that's also another sign of you always going to like a decadent society.
If I may say, the goal of the small hats is have everybody in America in the state of androgynism. Yeah, that's androgynism where there's an inversion of the gender. So men are doing the same thing that women are doing, like you said, women are doing, because the average so-called black woman thinks like a man. Especially when it comes to dudes, the way she talk about dudes, it's how men talk about females.
I ain't trying to be converted, I just trying to smash.
That post, man.
Like, goddamn.
So Eve is in her masculine, Eve is being direct. You know, you go into like the nature of females, into the nature of males, a female supposed to be indirect. Now Eve's gonna actually like, how big is your penis? She asks like, what's your favorite thing to watch on the internet as far as P-O-R-N? Like she gets direct with it. You know what I mean? So the women are in their masculine, and men are in their feminine, and that's an inversion. The women are here getting masculine haircuts, and the men are growing their hair long as shit.
Hey, isn't that left-handed demon Baphomet like that?
He's an androgynous demon. The women talk about the alpha females. And the men don't mind being in their dynamic. So that's like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. How many, like you heard about Jada Pinkett and her obsession with Tupac, right? You heard about Jada Pinkett Smith messing with August Alsina. Now who did you hear about Will Smith messing with lately?
Nobody.
He the lawyer bitch. She's in the masculine. We in a state of androgyny.
I mean, info has came out on him that he's, been out there.
I mean, but you know what they did? Yeah, but they had a thing where they were swinging anyway. Right. But I'm just saying, like, the narrative, and I didn't mean to contradict, but the narrative was like, it's open like she had these dudes, and he's like the faithful, you know what I mean? He's the good boy.
Yeah, she's the nigga.
She's the nigga, man.
The narrative has been planted that little 5'2" sapsucker is like, you know what I'm saying, pimping niggas out, like, bitch, You know what I'm saying? Get on your fucking knees, Will.
Manipulate.
Yes, sir.
Gaslight.
That motherfucker be the movie since the 90s.
Yeah, that's right. Her weird looking ass. She was hot back in 95, set it off. She weird now, man. I'm not saying I'm looking at that. Watch what you say. All right, go ahead.
It's Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine.
Wait a minute. When we left Egypt, and he gave us those laws, isn't it like planting us a noble vine? Like I installed you. I gave you a hardwired program to make you a noble nation through these laws. 613 laws is like a hardwire. Like if you go into engineering and computers, you get this computer program. So he gave us a program that we're supposed to ingest and make us noble. Go ahead, man.
Verse back in Jeremiah 2:21, yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy and right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant or a strange vine unto me?
A strange vine. Niggas in a feminine, women in a masculine, women being whores, Jake being degenerates. Now it said a degenerate plant, right? Now what does the word degenerate mean? Where does that go back to?
Degenerate. So going back to your gene.
Yeah, but it deep means away. So you're going away from the ways of your genes.
Of your ancestors.
Because departing from that ancestral standard.
Yeah.
Free dictionary. Departing from that ancestral standard, because degenerate goes back to like away from the genes, away from the way of your ancestors, your forefathers. What was the way of our forefathers? Those laws. Because you notice something?
Yeah, just to link it up with the brother got the bell in there, bro.
Yeah.
You see, all that new age shit, all right, it's just seduction into Satanism, because Satanism is a philosophy that allows you to live out of the flesh or go off your human nature. The origins of Satanism is we're going to rebel from some oppressive God with all these rules, and Eve calls the patriarch, and we can live off our natural instincts, man. It's just Satanism, man. Feminism is female Satanism. Makes you immoral. They make you immoral. All right?
The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 7. For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah his pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry.
Yep, because he planted us a noble vine. And if you think about a king, they plant gardens in their yard. They plant orchards. But just imagine you plant an orchard, which is the nation of Israel, and weeds start coming up. The fruit that it's supposed to engender is like rotten and weird, man. That's our people, man. We withered because we got seduced by these nations. You know what? And that's why America is the last education of wickedness. America's the when we went through the Babylonians, the first Babylonians, we were in Egypt. We went through the Grecians. We were seduced by the Romans. We were enamored with all the nations. It's in our history. When you read about the Maccabees, that's us being acculturated into the way of the Grecians. All right? When you read about who else? The Romans, the Babylonians, but in the New Testament, there was Apostle Paul basically bringing in the scattered sheep back from the way of the Romans. There was the Greco-Roman energy that we was infatuated with. So this is an education. Okay, I told you to keep my laws, you didn't do it. Now you're experiencing the result of breaking each law. You're experiencing the outcome of eating pork. You're experiencing the outcome of adultery. You're experiencing the outcome of not even growing your beard. All them damn bumps on your face. You're experiencing getting the damn crisp line and put alcohol on it, which is probably why some of us bald. You know, you experience what other laws Jake break?
They love other men's women.
The adultery.
Yeah, that's the top one.
Yeah, they
With
love the fantasy.
murder. We got murder culture.
The gospel of the Lord.
But see now, since you didn't follow it, you had to experience the outcome of not following it. Just like when you raised by your parents and your dad tell you to go in this way, and you rebel. I do, son, right? So now you got to go out to the streets and realize what Pops was protecting you from. Pops wasn't just being a strict dude. He was protecting you from the heathen. So now you got to go amongst the heathen, i.e. captivity, and you got to see the result of living without the Most High. You got to see the result of going off your lower nature. That lower nature, man.
Like you said, we seeing the results. Because the scriptures say how women will be harlots in the streets and our children, our sons and daughters will die by the sword. That's us. Because like you said, like as men, we came up dealing with women that we didn't intend to marry and put them back out there. So now when you get ready to have a wife, guess what? You don't know what number you is. You just got a deal.
She might not know what number you are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You just got a deal. You know, all this dysfunction and all this shit that you got to deal with, the chaos and all this shit, that comes from going away from the law. Now the woman, on her end, you know, she was able to, and one thing that the feminist movement showed, it showed that the women operate off of low nature. Because you look at the men that they chose, they always chose the men that operate on the lowest nature. Anyone that operates on the higher nature was boring, lame. But their low nature, that's what the woman loves, the lowest nature in the man.
They'll be the ones that molest their daughters.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones that be beating the hell out of them, domestic violence.
Yeah.
They'll be the ones who get in the dope and say, hey, you take this case.
Yeah.
Hey, there's this show called 20 Women versus One Rapper. And it's basically like one rapper, he got to, choose. Yeah, it's pretty entertaining to be honest with you. But it's this one rapper from the new age called Nardo. But a lot of them jakes be more disciplined than the females. So one of the women asked him, she was like, so do you smoke? He was like, nah. She walked up to him, asking him questions. Really, he supposed to choose them. So Eve walked up to him like, do you smoke? He was like, nah. She's like, do you drink? He was like, nah. She's like, so basically you're just a boring ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
But now, the chick that came up before that chick, she was asking, so when we do it, you like to give me bag shots, or you like to do it missionary?
Yeah.
That's what she just jumped right into it. Like that was before that chick.
Right, and then you know what? Y'all are niggas now. Because women are supposed to have something called shame, reserve. When a woman come direct, you in your masculine. You're a masculine bitch, man. Even niggas get turned off by that. Yeah. Like even you know what I mean? A nigga know what he's supposed to have, even if you're a nigga.
But any kind of social media site you damn near go on, before you see their face, you see their head.
Yeah.
Their head's all in the camera.
Hey, but that's a beautiful point, man. Females, they lower nature. And Esau gave them a divine association, like they up here with it. They down there with it.
And when you just observe women decision making, you be like, God damn. You know? Like, the shit be over what the fuck? You know, like you really examine the decision making, you just observe, and you like, how this makes sense?
How's you alive?
Yeah, like, you know, but that shows you that Most High had the man, that was that spiritual guide and that spiritual covering over a creature that he made to have a natural low nature, man. You know, and like I said, he destroyed the family, because you look at it, the women, here it is, they complain about men, but these same women, they wouldn't deal with, if you ask a woman would she deal with a man that's like her son, she would. You know? But that's what you breed. Like, this is all you breed now here. You ask a woman, would you see yourself marrying a man that's like your son? Nah. You know? But this is the only thing you breed. And my thing, with anything you do, you gotta do with the results. Like, look at the results of our culture, what they culture. Niggas culture, like, look at the results of this shit, man. But niggas cleave on to it and try to justify that shit. Like, we past justifying nigga culture. That shit terrible.
We want to y'all to die.
Yeah, that shit terrible, man.
You better off just converting to other country, man.
Yeah.
Like country music.
Yeah.
Every Jake in the world just say, I denounce rap and R&B.
Yeah.
I'm a country fan, but here on out. And no matter how wicked country ever is, it will never compete with the wickedness of nigga culture.
Well, I'm gonna let the brother get the point. You get the nigga.
It's just going on to what y'all were saying, just adding on, like you said, because even going back to those examples you had gave, he's searching out for that same low vibrational state. He's searching for the same vibration that Wayne is moving on.
Well, that's something that Elder Apostle LaCroix said. He was like, you see a Jake that got all the women, it's because he in that same wave that she in. He in that same spirit, man. And if you're not gonna always be in the spirit all the time. Sometimes you might be in a lower state, and you might realize that you might vibe more with females that way. And then you might get back in the spirit and you not feel that disconnect. You're really supposed to feel a disconnect from the world. But you'll notice, like, if you ever kind of like been on the worst version of yourself, you might have kind of slipped. You notice the world might vibe with you better, you know? But when you're in the spirit, it's like a natural disconnect, man. You know?
This is
You can finish saying what you want.
Well, I had a definition when brother just said I had planned to be a noble vine.
Yeah.
I got the definition for noble. It says having or showing fine personal qualities or high morals, principles, and ideals.
Don't you know we had a most high culture? Just how you drive, right? Because the laws was written all over Jerusalem. Like all the walls, like, so in the West, I'm pointing, but in the West, they advertise with food. It's always an advertisement of something.
Yeah, the billboard.
Billboard. But in the ancient world, the billboard was the most high.
Yeah, Hooters and shit.
Yeah, Hooters. Yeah, it's regular random shit. Twin Peaks and shit. But in the ancient world, the culture was serving the most high. That was the culture.
Yeah.
That's all you got. Right now, the culture is serving your flesh. In the East, the culture was serving your Yahweh. Like you get into, like, the culture would be wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, science.
Going back to the parables.
Yeah.
You know, that was why Queen Sheba, when she came to King Solomon, she was coming with the parables.
Yeah.
To test his wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody roll up on you, they might have a parable. Test your wisdom, see
Yeah.
where you at. You try
Real
to
quick.
think. Yeah, it was a mind, it was a thinking.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, it was about thinking, man. But in this shit, it's all about that lower nature, man. Everybody made poor decisions. When you go back to all the poor decision making, us as a people, it goes back to the lower nature. You know, everything, niggas, the baby mamas, the baby daddies, the life sentences, the prisons, the shootouts, it was all based off low nature, man. You know, no wisdom, no spirituality, no foresight, no discipline. It was all lower nature decision making, man. You know?
Which goes back to what you guys were talking about earlier. You know, that was the destruction of the family tree, because back during my time, the family sat down and ate together. The father taught, you know, to the children. You know, and that's when we're supposed to get our laws, statutes, and commandments. And, you know, even though we wasn't in the truth back then, but, you know, we got order back then. You know, so and then during that time of the 70s, that was taken away. You know, because they destroyed the structure of the family. You know, so they killed us.
Sirach 26 and 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fears the Most High. Going back to how you said that separation, that disconnect when you tap back into your your spiritual nature, or spiritual side, you don't vibe with those lower level women, but they vibe with the same light,
Because for me, as in the real world, you see a woman wearing some tight stuff. As a man, of course, you're gonna be looking, but that's not something that I would initially go for. Because in my mind, if you don't classify yourself as a harlot, then that's a problem. If you don't have a price by your picture, I don't trust it. You understand what I'm saying? If you dress a certain way and you ain't got no price of how much, it's like my brain don't know how to compartmentalize it. You scam. Like, you understand? So either you are on the spectrum of a decent woman or you're a straight up escort. But a modern woman, like we went into, you're an in-between woman. Because you move like an escort, but you don't classify yourself as an escort. You want these expensive dates, and you giving it out to whoever you want to give it out to. Well, we can't call you an escort. We can't call you a harlot. Can't call you a wife. Damn sure can't call you that. You go ahead, Elder Kazak.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
So we supposed to came to America and kept our culture, which that was beaten out of us, because he had to beat our culture out of us, to beat his name out of us, so we can't call on him and he deliver us. All right, go ahead.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes. I'm going to make the point about the Queen of Sheba.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And she seen it real time. Like she seen the law, statutes, and commandments. She seen like the glory, of Israel when we was, in good standards with our power. And the nation was at all. And guess what? Just like you have legal culture that Esau, the one thing about it, you call American pop culture, went global. Everybody's influenced by America. And Esau take these niggas and put them on world tour. And that's why when foreigners, when they think of Jake, they think of Lil Baby and the baby and shit like that, because that's the representative that Esau put out. But see, when King Solomon was our representative, man, they were like, who are these people, man? Who are these wise people, man?
Because you know what? Esau deals with archetypes. Esau, as a matter of fact, the brother get that word archetype. Esau deals with archetype. That's why, you might go out in public and somebody might treat you a certain way, because it's not that they know you personally. You're associated with a certain archetype in their brain. And we have archetypes in our brain towards other people.
Yeah.
But Esau has constructed, like you said, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, NBA player. So somebody is making an effort to compartmentalize you to see what archetype of a so-called black man you fit in. But there's no prophet archetypes. There's no man of the Lord archetypes. See, Esau knows if I can control archetypes, I can control people's perception, man.
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
This archetype, it says a very typical example of a certain person or thing.
Yeah, like the movie They Clone Tyrone. It shows you the different archetypes in the so-called black community. Showing you that Esau, he wrote up a script of the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American community. He wrote up a script, like these are the characters that I'm going to inspire. Because back in the 70s, you had that movie, Pimp. Basically based off of Pimp. Dolomite. This is another one. That was another one. It might have been the back. Superfly. So, but before Superfly, you had so-called black revolutionaries, and that was the archetype. But then they replaced the black revolutionaries, so-called black revolutionaries, with pimps. But it was the same era where Jake was actually pimping. Jake been pimping in the United States, but this is the same era where pimping was commercialized. In the 70s was a pimp era. The long Cadillac, so it's no coincidence, the same era where Jake was actually pimping. They had these movies about pimping. Then the 80s was what? Gangsta rap, dope boys, and what happened in the 80s? They flooded the cities with crack. So, but these like those NWA, those are archetypes.
And then you look at it, if if I can add, because on that clone Tyrone, either you gonna be a pimp, a dope boy, or a hoe. Like that was the archetype.
Yeah.
Like you didn't see no engineers,
Yeah,
you didn't see no electricians, you know, because even like black culture really, especially, you know, in the inner city, if you wasn't a street nigga or athlete, you were pretty much lame. Like if you wasn't a street nigga or athlete, you was lame.
And you know what? Eve still holds on to that.
Oh yeah.
Eve still holds on to that. And Jake still holds on to that.
Yep.
Jake could be at work with a street nigga complex.
That's why Chris Brown wants to be a plug.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, damn,
I'm 34 years old.
Wait till you sell 2 million, you know, 20 million hours, you didn't get blood, like, you know, but stuff in that archetype, trying to fit into that archetype, man.
An R&B singer wasn't even supposed to be in the realm of a street nigga. That's a whole different space.
Yeah.
So you a tatted up R&B singer, blood, come on, man. We can think of our boys in the hood. We can try to get out. Yeah. He get shot.
Right,
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that the Most High have made men upright, but they have sought out many inventions.
Yeah, because one of the inventions is these cultures that we follow. All right? Because that's the MK Ultra. Like Elder Yashima was saying, like the whole country of America is under MK Ultra. And then Jake has their own MK Ultra. And that's where I believe the concept of Frankenstein came from. I believe when they wrote the book Frankenstein, there was a projection of what they was going to do to the 12 tribes. We're going to engineer the Israelites to be niggas. Because the world knows who we are. Like Russia just opened up their icons to where the whole, like they opened up the Icon Museum to where they're open about the Israelites being black. You know that book, Russia Icons? Now Russia has opened up all their exhibits to where you can walk up and see the Russian, the icons of Jake. So they're showing you the world knows who we are. So why is it in America when they freed us from slavery, they say, look, we got to engineer ultimately to transgress from Yahweh. So so-called street culture is really a Frankenstein engineering, man.
When you say many inventions,
Yeah.
I say street nigga is an invention.
That nigga, and he's under a mind control. He's going off a script that was written for him.
He's an experiment that worked.
He's an experiment that worked. Like Keisha, you are an experiment that worked. Even our grandma, with that big Bible with Christmas Serapis on it, just our grandma was an experiment that worked.
Hey, because when they had that tape record and they called Tyrone, he thought it was his mama, but he was just recording. They were showing that he saw programmed her to say the same shit. You know, she was programmed to say. Cause what did your mother start telling you? They were big on pushing you into the army. Just be in tune with be a Roman. You know, college or army. You know, they would never talk about enterprise and like that wasn't the thing. Our mothers wasn't telling us to enterprise and do our own thing. They was either military or college.
Yep.
You know?
Or just go get a job in a warehouse.
Or she put on the energy and you being an athlete.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
another archetype.
Yeah. Well, like you said, because when we got out of slavery, Jake kept popping up with their own
Cities.
communities,
Yeah.
economic communities.
Yeah.
So you gotta think at least like, shit, I need to get these niggas' minds.
Because we all know what a community turned into.
Yeah.
A city.
Yeah.
Cities turn into nations.
Yeah. We gotta get these niggas' minds. You know? That's when you have feminism, okay? Let's say the black exploitation, the pimps, the niggas, the drugs, you know. I gotta get these niggas' minds. Crack wasn't. These niggas keep rising.
Yeah.
We gotta do chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare.
Right.
And one of the hardest chemical warfares covertly was food. Food in the hood, but you don't have to do the scripture, brother.
And just to match y'all points, the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 25, verse 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
And you know, and it started with the elder apostles of great millstone, starting with High Priest Abba Business coming out with the truth. And that's part of this destroying that covering cast.
Lifting that veil.
Lifting that veil. But in Russia, Vladimir Putin, he actually came out and has an open exhibit to where anybody can come into these little exhibits in Russia and see the so-called black Russian icons. Showing, and they come out and saying, yes, the Hebrews are so-called black people. And they just coming out and saying it now. That's part of that destroying that covering cast. That like we're under, even in this truth, bro. I can honestly say, I'm still deconditioning myself. A decade, not even bragging about time, but every time you go into that state of solitude and self-reflection, you realize you still got some deprogramming to do. You still got traumas from middle school. It's in you. You got little boy behavior in you. Little child, you know what I mean?
Like going back to it, like going to that archetype. That's why really when you be out, the elder Apostle College down here, man, he was telling brothers, even when you go out, man, it's why it's good to even tip extra, man, because they don't expect them from Jake. Because I picked up a waiter one time from Buffalo Wild Wings. She was back there pissed, man. She said, man, the supervisor had me at this table with all niggas, man, and it was 20 of them, they ain't leave nothing, man. I'm like, God damn. So, but for real, like, you look at it as a small thing, but when they see Jake, they automatically know these niggas gonna be the loudest, these niggas gonna be the most demanding. Yep. Niggas ain't gonna leave shit.
No appreciation.
Yeah, so like the other Apostle Hart said, man, you need to tip, man, because the other Apostle Hart said we're gonna do the opposite. Whatever niggas do, we're gonna do the opposite.
And then if you got it within your means, well, I was gonna say, if you got it within your means, don't leave a $2 tip. Like, sometimes you gotta do what you know what I mean? But if you can, 10, 20, like, you know what I mean? Because that's how you get treated better the next time.
And that's the spirit. Because I just went out a few days ago, say about 5 days ago, and the spirit was on me just I was tipping the hostess, extra for my waiter, and hey, I mean, it was just a spirit. I even told my woman, hey, we'll be, they're gonna remember us, we're gonna be treated better next time.
Because a real man, a man of the East, he invested in his reputation. Like, even the elites, the bakers, they was like, I don't give a fuck about no chain. I'm investing in my name. You know what I mean? A man of the East invested in his reputation. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, quote that scripture. A good name is
Going back to the ways of our forefathers, man, it's not about instant gratification. You know your last name means something. What you're doing right now is gonna affect how they treat your son. How they gonna treat your daughter. Are you whose son? That's gonna open doors for them. Your dad was shit.
Yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
No, that's cool.
Oh, okay, that's because you
Yeah, I got some. Okay. Because y'all was getting on what people call black culture, which is deaf culture. The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 5 down to 6. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the heavenly Father. Therefore thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they please themselves in the children of strangers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Philistine culture. And they said they please themselves in the children of strangers, because you're infatuated with their culture. You have to understand the heathen around about us, they had a culture that allowed them to live out in the flesh. Whether it's the Philistines, Canaanites, the Romans, the Greeks, every culture has the same ideology. Yeah, live out in the flesh. So of course, if you see somebody else looking like they lit, of course you have a temptation like, damn, I want to have fun too. I want to do this wild stuff with women too.
But the college lifestyle.
Because colleges, man, really offering your kids off, man. I mean, a lot of times they got the control of our loans like that. But just in general, man, that's a college campus is little Rome, little Greece, man, little Egypt. That's why they have fraternities. What do they call them? Greek fraternities, man. Right?
This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, we're starting verse 1. This note also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Egocentric, man. Individualism. All right, go ahead, bro.
Just real quick, they got right in. All right, this is the definition for Philistine. It says a person who is guided by materialism and is usually disdainful of intellectual or artistic value.
Because even Esau tries to project himself as being opulent or being aristocratic by buying art, right? A bit into art. But really, when we go into lower nature, high nature or high culture is you looking at art. Is that you feed into your intellect. You can really you can define a man based on what he doing in his free time. Are you reading in your free time? Are you working out? What are you pouring into yourself? You see? Because the Philistine culture is really feed your flesh culture. Like this materialism shit is really an extension of lower nature. It's really it's an extension of the flesh. It's a paradigm where the Most High or the thought of the Most High doesn't exist.
It's overindulgence and it's low quality.
Yeah.
Because you go into what do you call it? Epicureans. Now they'll overindulge a little bit fine. They just be quality, you know. But you go into, like you say, the Philistine, you like overindulge, but then it's low quality.
Yeah, because Jake eat meat every day, right? Americans eat meat every day, but it's processed meat. Now, if you can afford to eat lamb every day, go ahead. But the average Jake not doing that. They're pulling up at the drive-thru. And guess what? And after you pull up to the drive-thru, eventually, where you gonna pull up to? The hospital. Get them fake arteries. You go from fake meat to fake arteries. It's kind of stick, man. Because your arteries fail trying to get all that plaque. All right, you're trying to get blood through that plaque and it can't get through it. So they give you as a fake. And you know what happens when Jake put on fake arteries? They keep you the same shit to kill their arteries, man.
Hey, but see, like, you can tell Jake despise anything that's international. Like, Jake hate when you eat different.
Yep.
Jake hate when you listen to different music.
Yeah.
But, like, when I used to try to be related to Jake, you know, driving down, play some shit. But now, Jake finna do some country.
Yep.
Jake finna hit some chill hop.
Yep, that's right.
Jake finna hit some classical.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? Get out?
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me one time, it's like, I'd never let a man tell me what to do again or what to eat. I'm gonna eat me some chili. I'm like, you ain't hurting me. And I'm eating me some chili. Okay?
I got over there my first year in the truth. After my first year in the truth, I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah.
We out here teaching. And I'm not in my personal life. I keep doing what you're doing, man. Right on, you eat them damn chitlins, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna persuade you to not eat cakefish. I don't give a fuck about you like that, nigga. But going back to men should be lovers of themselves, so they really think the men of the Lord give a fuck about them. You give a fuck about the elect.
Yeah, that was just a courtesy.
Yeah, man.
Continue, I want to add to what y'all was saying with that, Philistine culture. You know, over there in the East, back then, like over there in the Eastern culture, it was all about cultivation, not just in the planet, but oneself, one mind, one spirit, and one body.
Yeah.
It was about cultivating yourself, continue to grow higher and higher.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make that point. This is back in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2. For men shall be lovers of themselves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers.
Yeah, proud. Jake be looking goofy as hell on social media, man. Like you know how Jake be on social media, man. All right, like you're vain. Like what are you building, man? All right, proud. Jake brag about adultery. You know what's brag about adultery? Eve. Somebody Elder Benatazar by South Carolina, and they was going around asking nigga women which one is better, the main nigga or the side nigga. And he was like the side nigga because the main nigga he for stability, but that side nigga gonna blow my back out. It's like all of them they up on this shit, man.
They go to American culture. I think you brought it out before too. It was one of the old pimps. He said pretty much America, is a game that ran off hoes and tricks.
Yeah.
But like that main nigga is the trick.
Yep.
And the woman is that hoe. Like the trick is the guy, all right, this going to give this woman stability, while she gonna do what she want to do and play the hoe.
Because that's the spirit, that was my mindset too. Got the pimp, the hoe, and the square. The square is the working dude. That's the good man. The hoe, that's the woman you wipe up because she's not a virgin. She don't have that traditional mindset. The pimp is really the street dude. Because he look at her as a tool. Whether it's a tool for sex, a tool for money, but somewhere to stay. Yeah. And it's a pimp hoe square paradigm, man. This shit sucks. All right?
Proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parent, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despiser of those that are good.
He said natural affection. But there's no sincerity amongst people. most of the time when people are doing something for you, it's because they got some ulterior motive. Right. You know, everybody's out the game, man. You know, if we going back to our customs, man, like, nah, man, we had each other's best benefit, you know. We had each other's best well-being in mind, man. But that's gone away from the earth, man. Even amongst neighbors, man. You barely know your neighbors, man. You know, there was a time when the community was tight, you know, you knew everybody's children and all, but that tradition is gone, man. Now, it's just dogs and dogs.
Used to borrow things from your neighbor, you know, they watch each other's children, you know, all that. But now, like you say, your neighbor, man, you want like, I want to put a fucking fence up. I don't even want to see him.
And you go at your door like,
Yeah,
what
like,
you doing over there? What's up?
hard face on.
Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures.
So they say that nigga culture jugging and finessing. They probably got a new term now. There's always a new term for evil shit, man. All right, we had triggers, man. Backstabbing, man. Backdooring. Backdooring, man. Go ahead.
Lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High.
So you got that Philistine culture. Is it Philistine or Philistine? On Google. But you got that heathen culture. Go ahead.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
You might have a nigga attack that bring it down.
What was the last part, bro?
Yeah, what you just read.
Verse 5, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away.
Because basically that godliness is they looking themselves to be their own gods, man. Lovers of themselves, man. People worship themselves, man.
And then you might have a form of godliness like the average they believe there's a God. He might have a Bible tat somewhere on there with the rest of them tats, but you still a nigga. You don't fear your how about how Shemi how shy, man.
He got a zeal, but not according to knowledge.
Right. Yep, that's right. You know? But in the same breath, you niggas do think you a God.
Because what that nigga that just went had the sentence to prison where he say, I am God.
Nature boy.
Yeah, that nigga.
Yeah, lower nature boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, lower nature boy. And they swapping women and shit. Like, they real free spirits. Like, you're a Philistine, man. Like, that's not Hebrew culture, which you claim to be Kemet, but that's not our people, man. But there's no new thing under the sun. You was infatuated with that little sensual culture back in the ancient world. Don't you know that's why we here? We're like, this didn't happen. The white man, so-called white man, is not that great. We can gather the strongest people and put them here. This is a divine punishment. I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy. The Most High set up this so-called white man to shame us in America. We just here on this penal colony. Don't you ever see certain shows, like I think it's called 4400? Like they just randomly on some random island. Like, how did we get here? It's America, man. We're here, man. On a penal colony. Now we figure out why we're here. The Most High revealed to us you're here because you transgressed in the ancient world, man. Now get the fuck up out of here. We're here to get up out of here. All right? Anybody have the last quote? All right. You got that.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the heavenly Father, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, they are going away backward. For that word backward, it means alienated or separated.
Hey, you know, and look, we're not in a time, now we know not to envy the heathen. We know not to envy the glory of 2/3. All right, because we know what's going to come for us afterwards. And we know what's going to come for them shortly, man. But with that, we hope you brothers and sisters are edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Above. Shalom.